Transferring back again with another episode of Suzerain. We're still on Revelations. What's going to be revealed? Oh yeah, this conversation is coming up again. It's one of those conversations that always happens. I arrived in the city in Vessord with Peter after receiving an emergency meeting request from Isaf and Lilias. I've seen reports of a recent issue that arose between the Sordland State Force and the gendarmerie units in their city. Now, if you remember back when we had the cabinet meeting after the reform failure, Lilias asked for control of the gendarmerie from the military, and I think this is what it's about. The report said that operation against drug trafficking gang in Vessord failed due to miscommunication. It was not hard to guess what the meeting was going to be about. We entered the city hall and made our way to the second floor. I could hear Lilias and Isaf's voices echoing through the hallway. I opened the doors to the meeting room. The two ministers didn't even realise. It is unacceptable. How dare the police meddle in the affairs of the gendarmerie? It was your men who started the ridiculousness and meddled with the ongoing police investigation. Their voices were getting louder and louder. Real security is my jurisdiction and you're way outside Vessord. Please calm down, let's discuss this. What is going on? Apologies, Miss Graff here fails to understand her place. Nimbus Fancier, you are the one who does not understand his place. If you continue to do so, you will pay for it one day. Now that's a threat. In my past two runs, I don't think we've had Peter at this point. I can't remember whether he's gone or not. So it'll be interesting because we've handled the whole spy thing differently. So normally he's had to resign now. Slam the table. I slammed the table, which shocked the ministers. They fell silent. He said, "Let's hear your side of the story." The Lieutenant General of the Gendarmerie was tracking a drug trafficking ring in the countryside of Vessord. We immediately acted on it. Just when we were about to raid their hideout with live weapons, the police agents arrived in the scene and alerted the criminals. As a result, the criminals got away. Isn't there a line of communication between you? There is, but the Minister of Defence decided to avoid notifying the police department about the planned raid. But the police department should have been there. The same could be said about you because the reports show you knew about the gang and their stash in the countryside. I started tapping the table with my fingers. Well, how do we resolve the situation if it happens again? I think this was the last drop. Turn security man should be handed to the Minister of Interior completely. Nope. We've called the Minister of Interior for a reason. We can't let any more screw-ups like this happen again. She looked at me. I want the gendarmerie transferred to the Minister of Interior. Not a chance in hell. What? Woman, are you out of your mind? Isaf turned red with anger. He composed himself after a moment. Can't these branches just try and improve their communication? Just saying. I believe I told you to fix the problem, Mr. Vice President. Well, but with due respect, there is no other way. Ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I want to have the gendarmerie to her out of the question. Do you have a better solution, Isaf? Whenever operation is overlapped, we should engage at a lower rank with local officers on both sides. We could work on establishing that, but it doesn't change the wrong system that exists now. No matter what, we need to eliminate any grey area and modernise our internal security. Now I see what's going on here. Lilias has set us up to create this incident, and I actually believe him. I actually believe that she fished in the budget in the post-reform failure meeting that she wanted the gendarmerie. I do believe it. Lilias bit her lips. This is going a bit far. What proof do you have? There's no way that the police has arrived at the right time of a month-long search on the exact date and minute of the gendarmerie raid. You may be right. I'm agreeing with him. This is very disappointing that you'd have entertained the idea. What kind of this kind of accusation even is unheard of. This is nonsense. If I were you, I believe a word myself says, Mr. President. Heed my word, Mr. President. When dealing with these situations, you always need to look at who gets what out of it. He's right as well. Old Mr. Potato Head, he's right. I won't stand idly by these utterly ridiculous, baseless accusations. I don't have time for this. What is your decision? There will be no change. There will be no change related to gendarmerie operations. You are making a mistake. Thank you for protecting the structure and authority of the Ministry of Defence. From now on, Richard, don't find all these criminals caught immediately. We have interrogated the ones caught and the ones and after those who escaped. Don't worry, they will get the justice they deserve. Left the room to attend my next scheduled meeting. I always handle that the same way as well. I always wonder if there's a better way of doing it. But anyway, alright. All news. Anti-corruption police investigate state officials. Raise and Mrs. gone forward is unnecessary probing to top ranking. Yeah, these are old guard newspaper. Let's see what they uncover. Hopefully enough to bury somebody. League of Women extends thanks. Donation. Fine, thank you very much. We don't need the money ourselves, but nothing to spend it on. I'll sit up there. Ability bill. What's this one? It's approved. EAB. The EAB have approved the GNA to support a social benefits initiative. Section 1 attends compensatory veterans and state employees disability programme of 1930 through the expansion of subsection 3 with an earnings replacement benefit for all non-state employed citizens. Under the newly expanded programme, employees who fall sick gravely or are become disabled which terminates their capacity to work will be provided with a steady income by the state at the value of 50% of their monthly. Okay, I don't know, I've not seen that before. Hopefully it won't be a bad decision. Okay, okay, I might regret doing that. I didn't think that one through. Oh well. Old Guard. The anti-corruption police is continuing to investigate the Old Guard. A few leads have been uncovered revealing several low-level cases of corruption as well as high-ranking allocations possible ties to Bernard Circus assassination. This will be duly followed up on. I had a meeting scheduled with Pascal to review the annual healthcare report. I arrived at my office with stacks of papers underneath both arms. He arrived rather, Mr. President. The mountain of papers on my desk made a loud thud. I know this seems like a lot. Reviewing it could take more than a day. You measured the pile again, or maybe two. Thanks for bringing these in. No problem at all. They tell me important information about the status of our healthcare. Salaries, spending, hospital reports, whatever you like. We can go these through together. Okay, let's begin. I'm normally just going to get them to summarise, but I don't want to bore you, so I will quickly summarise. Good. Peter sighed of relief as he put on his reading glasses to look at the document he was holding. So we've concluded our report for the year. Our services haven't necessarily got better compared to last year's. We've missed several funding opportunities to expand our services in the country, leading to several issues being unresolved. Anybody can succeed when given all the resources. Anybody can succeed when given all the resources. You need to do a better job. Yeah. Yes, I agree. The session absolutely pushed welfare to the brink, so no further funds mean we couldn't do much. But as you can see, it hasn't been the best year for us at all. And then get to the bottom of it. I will do whatever I can. He cleared his throat. Now I've given you the short summary. There's a very important matter to discuss. Leaning over to grab his briefcase, he pulled out a coloured tan. The package stamped the big letter as read confidential. Pascal opened the package and brought a few documents. He handed them over to me. I'll take a look. Report from Ministry of Health, each page stamped on it for the eyes of the President only. Report titled Polio Outbreak in Bergia. How bad is it? For now it seems to be under control. We have a few villages under quarantine. The total infected are 1,467, death toll 23 so far. This is topical. If we have more outbreaks, the result could be terrible. We're not where we could have been in terms of our healthcare funding. With what we currently have, I'm afraid it might not be enough to curb the infection rate. This is a very serious matter, President. The lives of soldiers, citizens are at stake. How can it be? It will stop, I know it. Mr. President, I beg you to see reason. We've done our research. There's a cure. A vaccination recently invented in United Contana by a doctor, and a formula has been made available for free to the entire world. No matter what people think about United Contana, if something happened like occasionally we'd be paying the price for it. He's got a point. Fortunately, because of the state of our current funding, we do not have required materials and don't have enough capability to produce the vaccine locally, which means we have to buy it. It will be costly, but nothing comes before health. You're exactly only 30 deaths, and you said unaffected but under quarantine. I'm not going to prove this a procurement. We're getting ourselves exposed to the virus. Mr. President, the virus doesn't distinguish. It can affect you, your daughter and your wife. Think about them. I beg you to consider. We don't have the funds. I will tell you my decision. Then may God save us all. That was it for today. All I could got from his seat. Yep, I've always done the opposite on that. I've always done, yeah, let's just get it all out there. Yeah, that's disability, so they like it. Yep. So that could be a risk, because I've always gone, oh yeah, we'll do the vaccine, but now I want to save the budget in case we need it. Last group has finished constructing a private prison complex in rural area just outside of Vesord. Yeah. Problem is it has twice as many prison stacks, just smaller cells and stacked bunk beds. Great. Yeah, modern prisoner reform going on there, I think. Not. Process desalinization has begun. Started the removal of Tarkman's statue of Capitol Park. By the end of the month, it's expected hundreds of similar statues, portraits, and of other likenesses were removed from every town city in Sordland. Good. It's probably going to get me killed or de-elected or lose my election, but yeah. Housewives have turned on economics to protest the protestation recording general quality and education. Most, yeah, whatever. Moments rally of Asfas anniversary is about to begin in Ezran. The Bloodish movement is holding the largest rally for demands and strength. The mission go to Ezran and support. I always go to this. I don't know what good it does us. I don't know what good it does us at all. I really don't. I'm not going to go. I normally go, but this time I'm not going to bother. I've always gone. I don't know what good it does. Yeah, I might regret doing that. Yeah, I do regret doing that, because normally I go and it normally comes out quite well, but I'm trying to do things differently from normal. What I've done past 2 runs. I walked to the White Room with a cup of coffee in my hand. My past president scheduled a meeting on the current political situation. I opened the door and entered the room. Peter immediately stood up. Anton, morning. Let's begin. Alright, I've got some updates for you on what we're dealing with politically. As part of a few documents from a briefcase, I laid them on the table. Sam told me he's almost done with the new economic plan. That's why we need that money. He said he still needs some time with it. Personally, I think he's just avoiding human contact for as long as possible. But what do I know? Anyway, he's scheduled a meeting soon to go over our options. Yeah, it better be good for his own good. Tell him to be quick on administration. Depends on it. I will let him know. He closed the folder and put away the documents. Next on the docket. Next is time to talk about our election prospects. A sharp, soft knock on the door. Lucy insisted on being here for this part. Good. We couldn't have won the last state election without him. Yeah, I know, but before we continue, Lucian walked in. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. His tone was nothing but cordial and professional, even a cast of withering stare at Peter's direction. Then we sat down. Peter handed over a new set of documents. Normally, past 2 months, Pete's gone by now. Because on both previous occasions, I've exposed publicly this spy. In what I think both times he committed suicide, on both ones, I think. Mr. Vector, I'll let you take lead on this. Oh, I will. Listen, thanks. Just the results from a vote upon our commission earlier this year. I'll put it in plain language. It's not great, bad even. The SP stand to lose up to 20% of the vote compared to last time round. Tell us straight, do we have a chance? We have a year to gain more votes, but we've got to think strategically. And if there's one arena Mr. Vector excels, then it's thinking strategically. Go on, Peter. Shuffle his papers around. Looking at the demographics of the voters polled, you've fallen out of favour of the Conservatives. Less than half of them are likely to vote for you. Unfortunately, you're next to no support from the Liberals. Your next better voices certainly aren't popular with the Nationalists. If you've ever had any support for the Socialists, you're completely lost it now. I'm surprised that none of the bullish poll respondents said they were planning to vote for you. Lastly, we can't expect their votes from the centrists and the unaffiliated voters unless you do something to win them over. So what do you suggest? I mean, you can always start a war. Are you serious, Peter? Hey, it worked for Sol. Keep beefing up the military. Get the allies to do the heavy lifting, and we'll come out of it looking like a hero. Leeson, is he right? Of course not. Because in our current state of preparedness, going Rumberg into an armed conflict could cost both us and our voters. Cost us both voters and lives. Alright, but if Rumberg escalates things, I won't back off. Rayne the Conqueror, you'll finally get to live up to your university nickname. I think it's time those meeting are both dismissed. Any other advice from you, Lucian? Lucian smiled and bowed his head slightly. Thank you, Mr. President. These might sound like common sense, but a convincing enough campaign can't succeed when policies fail. Even if you've opted not to focus on your campaign at the moment, I still advise you seize every chance for exposure that you can. A malicious image means nothing to me. I'll take that into account. Good. One more thing. There's a not insignificant portion of undecided voters who don't care who occupies the Moon Palace as long as the economy is running smoothly. Propping up the economy just after the election is a surefire way to win them over. It's all on Simon then. Partly yes. Stability is the key to allow the economy to improve further. Currently the country is still struggling to develop due to instability. There are some worrying news that half the group is up to something. Both formats have been talking about frequent meetings happening between the oligarchs. Great, I've heard enough, Peter. Was that off today? Great, I've heard enough. Yes, that's everything from my end. Don't we? Lucy need to listen up. Peter nodded. I left the room next to my next meeting. That did go well. We're doomed. Thursday dead in Mornar attack. Bomb threat. Benford protests. Yeah. Noble bloodbath. Dam Noble is a victim. Terrorist attacks. Winds of change in Capital Park. International polio crisis. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope I don't regret the not vaccinating everybody. Protesters at Valencia when after the man was killed by security forces for carrying a picket sign with a flashing electrical device on it. Okay. The country's going down the pan. First morning, a gunman has opened fire randomly on the card with a KA-74. The attacker was killed on the spot. Death was currently 74. Wow. I thought we were over the worst of this. Oh dear. The minister has admitted that a report states policies are spreading considerably out of the Burgia region. Severity hit the hardest. He warns that it will not long before the infection spreads wildfire. Oh dear. Yes, I think I may regret not vaccinating everybody. Okay. Okay. I don't see us winning this run. Let's enter my advocacy. She was finally tense. She had just didn't talk at first, fixed me steady gaze. When she spoke up, it was a strained tone. Mr. President, we have a problem. Explain now. This just came in here. Take a look. Take a look at the report. I took the document from Miss. Let's reading it. The process will start processing Major City. I looked up immediately after the reading it. At least gave me a grim nod of confirmation. Process erupted all over Sordland. They're protesting you, Mr. President. They're asking for you to resign. I can't say this is unexpected. What is unexpected is the sheer size of the protest and the level of violence. Some people have been killed already. Circus, I haven't seen this much unless since the death of Burner Circus. Yeah, you agree with that. And if we can't let the tension rise to those levels again, we're on it. Carl Greaser is on the way here. He will tell us what he knows so far. Just then a knock on the door. Carl came in without waiting for an answer. He clearly was out of breath. Here, there he is, he saluted me. Status report. Mr. President, I'm sorry for being late. Carl, I've already informed the President of the situation. Do you have any updates? As you know, protests have been organised in major cities like Sordland, Lackhamdale and many more. Collectively demonstrated successfully suppressed for the time being, although I do believe we would have an easier time dealing with the situation if we'd had additional riot gear. 2 civilians and 2 policemen were killed due to a firebomb thrown by the protesters. So on the smaller incident, the situation is mostly under our control. Currently we have 27 protesters in custody. Among the detainees we have found Red Youth members. The main rhetoric they all share is demanding the President's resignation. They dare to find me traitors. Nonsense. If a president resigns whenever someone protested against them, there'd be no presidents. Well said. What does a protester profile look like? We've investigated various groups involved in a protest and compiled a list of their complaints. I'll go through it. Pull that document for the fault it was carrying. The majority of the protests are about the state of the economy. Thanks to the media, we are under fire for not showing support for the Ashraf anniversary. And you have been biting on the backside about that one. In addition, there are many provocateurs who are not to any specific state or organisation or cause. We need to take action, Mr. President, immediately. If the protests get even more violent than they already are, we are risking a civil war. Your orders, Mr. President. I won't risk of order to stop the evil force if necessary. Catch the ringleaders and sabotage their plans. I can't fight against my own people. Set up a meeting with their spokesman. I'll listen to their demands. I don't like the sound of that because I don't trust her. Catch the ringleaders and sabotage their plans. Yes, sir. I'll keep you updated on the results. Keep me in the loop as well. We need to end this farce once and for all. Of course, Miss Graff. If you excuse me, Mr. President, we have work today. I expect results. Of course. Come on, guard, we'll be leaving. Lilias left the room. Hurley left the room. Called back to me, Mr. President. He followed after her. Okay. Anything else to see? Okay, more bad news. What's this woman? Lack of security to a period of social upheaval also drastic measures proposed by the majority of the GNA. Allow use of force whenever deemed necessary. Sexual orders or that suspicion-based arrest and confiscation can occur without warrants. Allow security forces authorities beyond the legal limits that are permissible. Ooh, I don't like this. It shows maintain state security by extension general public. Ooh, I'm not sure I like doing that. Might come on, bite me on the rear end. President of order. Okay. Right, okay. That's a one-way ticket to badness, that is. Magna prepared a massive industrial expansion plan that could support several key industries in the country through state investment. Sordland could become more competitive a hub. Military industry, automotive, agricultural. I don't know. Give me some up on this one. Expand the military industry. Expand the military, because we're going to need it at some point. And also we've got no money. They've just been given their budget tripled. Okay, hopefully I'll continue. Proceed to the next turn. Checkmate. Okay, that's ominous. That's ominous indeed. I have the world's noisiest mic stand. Okay, and breathe. Geopolitics. Hegel will take all the necessary steps. Yeah, yeah. Previously, nothing's happened on Helgeport, but this is kind of, yes. Hopefully, with our line to Lesbia, we should be okay. What's our armed forces like? Strong, allied. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. What's their armed forces like? Equivalent. So we can match them. Equivalent. So we can match Rumberg. So if we're not bad off Rumberg, okay. Protect Women Act. Sign. Oh, I'm in negative budget. That's not what I wanted to say. Oh well. It was raining, so she dropped me off at home. It was another grueling day at work. A guard held an umbrella over my head as I walked from the car to the front door. Inside the house was completely dark. It's like to find a note from Monica. Karen had called her for last minute women's rights meeting. She dropped down off at her friends and left some food for reheating. I took the pot out of the fridge. It was filled with an unidentifiable greyish looking stew. Evidently Monica's excellent cooking was first casualty of her political career. Eat the stew. I ordered a pizza. I was reheating the stew. What happens if you order a pizza? Well, I was waiting for my wait to the room to fix myself a drink. Suddenly the phone rang up. Went back to the kitchen to answer it. Thanks, phone was in the end. I thought Mum would pick it up. She's off on a ladies' crusade as usual. Oh, well, Commander's Wood. Women might be allowed into the military now. He thinks they're too emotional to serve. There's a long silence. Oh, I got the record he sent me. Not bad for FX music. Glad you liked it. How's your Uncle Peter doing? Same as ever. Say hi to him for me. How's army life? It's alright. They're talking about how things might escalate with Rumberg. I'll see what I can do to alleviate tension. I think I want to see my son going into battle. So do you care about me now that I'm out of the house? I've just made the heart I always did. I'm graduating from basics soon. The commander says I could be the next SF Lancier. I won't pick out that old hawk as a role model. Yeah, so you can't, you've got too much hair. Staff would have laughed. Honestly, I was so ticked off after you sent me here, but really, I'm really starting to like it. Thank God for failure art. You're never a failure. A doorbell rang. Sid was here with my pizza. Good catch up with you, Frank. Yeah, okay, bye, Dad. He both hung up. I let Sid in. He bought pizza. Pizza bought with gargantuan. Sorry, sir, I've got to get back to my family. So I said, left out my pizza alone, the flickering light of the television, wondering when Monica and Diana would get home. Okay, so with the GNA, I've informed me considering the ESP would seem to be intentionally obstructing President Rayne's agenda to delay bills that business attempt to push through. No apparent motive other than blocking. Advance up across Sordland. Again, delivering speeches. Ladies' bill struck down. The bill would have been appended to legislation. Okay, that's been struck down. Increase security off. Increase. Okay, that's a bit short and to the point. Protect Women Act signed. Harsher than Solstice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I made a mistake on that one. That could have been a mistake. Threats economy, yeah, I think I made a mistake on that one. I should have vetoed it. I didn't think it through. New private prisons running many wealthy inmates have requested transfer to this prison. We already expect to see a substantial amount of revenue be generated from prisons. Fantastic. Okay then. We're putting in the propaganda stores. That's Okay, fine. Keep doing that one. I can't say I'm going to win this one through. The public long lines farmers waiting to apply for new corporation opportunities. Okay, hopefully that'll improve the economy. Won't be too late for us though. Record number of female students, great. We've got this one, else to see. Here. Overwhelmed in remote cities, we know. That's always been a problem. I honestly don't see how we can win this. I really don't. Human dignity bill. Transactions occurred. If parties delivered accurate documented to financial authorities, creates legal hope for prostitution. The human dignity bill will protect decency and prevent violation of moral principles. I'm vetoing that. I just can't afford the budget, basically. They vetoed the bill would have sex work become illegal. This bill would have seen sex work become illegal. Right, cool. I just couldn't afford it, basically. Like of any other reason, we just couldn't afford it. Discussion, current affairs. Storm was on the horizon outside my window, and a storm of different kinds blew outside my office. I straightened myself a sofa, raised my head and looked at Cole. He was sitting on the couch opposite me, ready to give me a report of the operation of the police. We stared at each other for a few minutes before he began. Sir, our operations are strong, and unfortunately there have been casualties from both sides. Most of the peaceful protesters have been hiding inside their homes since armed attacks started occurring between militants and the police. We've been ambushed by small groups of armed militants, and in the remote cities the situation is getting worse. The situation there is getting out of our control. He lowered his head for a moment. How the hell did you let this happen? So I'm sorry, sir. And as an script, but I'll make nothing like this happens again. Get to a comedian and bring the situation under control. Yes, sir. I'm going. I was a bit harsh on him then, but he's got how the hell did let that happen? News. Heroes at work. Been mobilised to combat increasing violent protests. Okay. Fund. Let's have a look. Abolish alcohol tax. Sets on proposed on luxury items. Yeah, we need the money. We need the money. Okay. Like assumption. We need the money. I'm not sure that's going to make me very popular, but look at this. The alcoholic consumption looks as not taxable. Yeah. That's him to. Yeah, I'm not doing a great job. I'm not really. As there is an incentive to extend electrical reach. God, but nah, I'm not for any of those lunatics. One communist, one nationalistic call. So I cut middle of the night by a call from the Ministry of Defence. Due to sensitive information, I had to be briefed in person. I put my clothes on as fast as I could. I rushed downstairs, opened the door, the surgery was waiting for me. Mr. President, this way to the car, please. We got into the car and made our way to the Ministry of Defence building without a word. I arrived. I was directed outside. I came to a large set of orange doors and quickly read the sign above them. The sign read War Room. Oh dear. The dimly lit room was filled with cutting-edge equipment, the latest video screens, long-range radio electronics, and other devices used for communication, presentation, and planning. Centerpiece of the room was a large table with coat of arms silver engraved on it. David, Lisa, and Volkov and ISAF were already deep in discussion. That's advised caution. Going to war won't help anyone. Must maintain peace in Sordland, Eastern Cape at all costs. What do you expect us to do? Sit down and do nothing? They're testing us. We must respond immediately, otherwise they will think we are weak. We must respond immediately to what exactly? Mr. President, thank you for coming in and say how there's a situation. Welcome, please go ahead and provide your report. Mr. President, approximately 20 minutes ago, one big down, one of our planes with anti-aircraft fire from the ground. The pilot was scared, killed in action. Last recorded position of the plane was inside Swordland airspace. I'm actually sure that this is the case. Again, this is another one that always happens. No defence taken. Here are the locations on the map. Report from the airbase. I like David Rishi. I like this guy. He's one of the only people I actually trust. I don't fully trust Lucian either. To answer your question, yes, we're absolutely sure you can. He's on the map. The plane was down approximately 10 kilometres inside our border. We can calculate the trajectory of the gunfire, and they started firing from our plane within. As the plane was in our border, plane was down near Haglin. We need to be cautious. How dare this is attacking against our sovereignty. Mr. President must insist we need to become maintain peace. I agree. We are trying to lure us into their trap. We have the enough military to contest this violation of international law. We should attack and down one of their planes in retaliation. Otherwise we will look weak and it will lead to more casualties. We can't look weak. If we appear weak, they will jump on the opportunity. You've got a point. We must do military retaliation immediately. I agree with the General. Attention before it comes out and can prevent bloodshed by using diplomacy. Move for silent Mr. President, what are your orders? Ooh. Ooh. Do we do it? An eye for an eye. We tell it with equal force to display of our strength. Oh, I could start a war. Peter wanted a war. Oh, God. I could start a war, couldn't I? Yeah, let's just eye for an eye. Let's not start a war. An eye for an eye. We can't afford to tell them to look weak. Very well. If there's to be retaliation, we need to be extremely careful. We'll seek every opportunity to blame us for it. We can't further escalate the situation and destabilise the region. We need to prevent a war at all costs. I'm saying this as a man who has lived through too many years of war. We're not the ones to escalate the situation. They were first. Mr. President, I assure you, they wouldn't dare attack us for that. They know that we are far superior. This will send a strong message. I'll send word for the start of a military operation. Our target will be their warplanes at an airbase near the border. I still think a peaceful situation will be more beneficial, but of course I doubt military experience and insight Mr. Lancier has. I'll begin my task immediately, Mr. President. Excuse me now, I must talk to military command to relay the orders. With paperwork, as I return the paperwork and show me where to sign, I'll sign off the operation. Now the paperwork is done, I have an idea, Mr. President. I think we should hold a military parade to display our strength. And Mr. Lancier, on this one, this should work well as a deterrent, and it will come in handy as a tool to de-escalate the situation. That's a good idea. Simple and effective without causing any ruckus. Organise a military parade. Understood. That is all, Mr. President. I will keep you updated on the situation. For now, have a good night's sleep. You will need it. I couldn't sleep that night at all. Yeah. I've done this military parade before, and it's gone different ways. It's gone different ways before. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Look at lone Wumberg plane rather to airspace, but entering the territory for 2 minutes and left after issuing a radio message. Okay, urgent. I was sitting across from David in the White Room after scheduling a meeting. I knew the matter must have been serious. He insisted ESF waiting his Lucian, so we did. Lucian entered the room, ESF by his side. Mr. President, we came as fast as we could. Mr. President, Mr. Rishi, what is going on? Cleared his throat. Welcome everyone. Due to political ramifications, I wanted everyone to be present for this meeting. I've received an envoy from Acacia that they're requesting a state visit. Judging from the current climate, it's not hard to see what this is about. It is trying to expand its influence. After all, they will most likely try and convince us to join. In addition, as part of the state visit, Dwight Walker will, of course, meet with you in person, Mr. President. There's a lot to be gained. Yeah, as much as our shares ideas, we need to be wary. I agree. At first stage, we should pass the opportunity to enslave us to their will. I bet he will come asking for us to cooperate under the guise of enforcing their demands to join NATO. This will antagonize half the world against us, and we are going to be at the forefront of the battle. From the perspective of national defence, we are in a better shape than we ever were before. I assure you, we don't need any outside help. Definitely not from Dwight Walker. We will make do somehow. Let's see what he wants first. I will decide when I talk to him. We need to be careful. Mr. Walker never gives anything away for free. There will be concessions for sure. Mr. You're the most experienced foreign policy expert. What's your take on this? What do you think is the right action? World tension is increasing rapidly, Mr. President. I am worried about the future. One misstep and the whole world might be engulfed in chaos. I'm afraid it might not be possible to stay neutral in any case. In this case, our political position is simply too important. Soon we'll have to take a side. If we don't pick a side, we may end up in the middle of a potential conflict. I'm of the opinion that this opportunity we can't miss. It boils down to your decision, but I say we should listen to what Walker has to say. What do you think? We've heard our experts. You're the one who has to decide, sir. They'll accept the offer. Immediately, then there's a ton of detail we need to go over with. How should we welcome their delegation, sir? Plain welcome will suffice. They're the ones requesting this. As you wish, I will take note. I think that's all for today. Thank you all for attending. As we disperse to all hang on the wall, caught my attention. I walked over to it. How often will the lines on the world map be drawn over recent decades? What about the future? Storage plane shut down. We know about that. Gates. There we go. Here we go. The car door opened and the flashes went off. Dwight Walker, president of Arcadia, head of editor, came out of the car smiling a wave, and an enormous crowd gathered. It was not every day an Arcadian president came to visit Sordland after all. President Walker stepped in the car and started making his way towards us. Along with Monica, I started walking over to him to meet him midway. Finally, I was reaching distance to one of the most powerful men in the world. He looked at Monica first, kissed and bowed, and for a second longer than I liked. Mr. Rayne, if you told me I would get to meet you, a lovely wife, I would have come sooner. I'm charmed, Miss Rayne. Oh my, thank you, Mr. Walker. It's a pleasure to meet you. No, the pleasure is all mine, Miss Rayne. Sleazy little old man. Hope your wife and his family as well. They are very well, Mr. Rayne, Mrs. Rayne, Miss Rayne, thank you. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it here today. And who do we have here? Mr. President, it is, and who do we have here? President, it is so good to finally meet you. We shook hands. Welcome to Sordland. Thank you. He turned and looked around. I was always going to think you weren't expecting me. Of course, I'm a simple man, not a fan of extravagance. Me, Mr. President, I am the exact opposite. He laughed. We started walking towards the reception hall in the palace. Our path was cleared of people at once. It was simple. He was simply looking at the extraordinary interior design of the Moon Palace. Statues, paintings, and various ornaments filled both sides of the corridor. We passed the corridor and entered the reception hall. The crowd was inside. This corridor was composed of various politicians and state figures. Upon our entry, they started clapping, drawing things around both of us. I present to you President Walker. People start clapping. Thank you, President Rayne. It is good to be here. Thank you everyone for the warm welcome. Another round of hundreds of applause. Jazz band started playing. President Walker and I separated, started mingling with the crowd. The reception was in full swing. After some chatting with the attendees, President Walker approached us about my wife. Can I call you Monica? Yes, of course you can. If I can call you Dwight. He took her hand and started dancing. I turned around to talk to the waiter. It's my third martini when I heard a whistle. I turned around and saw Monica dancing very close to President Walker. All eyes were in the room on them. President Walker, why don't you have some quiet chat? Finish your martini. So Monica looked, she was having fun. He was finally finished their dance, and after a few minutes he came over to the bar I was leaning on. Monica, you are full of surprises. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mr. Rayne, you are one lucky guy. Monica smiled. Oh, you love birds. At present, I swapped our drinks for Elori Marine, 30 years old. I knew a special spot. With our drinks and we went went down the stairs to the basement. Gradually, the music and the sound of the party started to fade away. We arrived at a cosy corner office, not so much inside other than a table and comfortable chairs. I took a seat and I followed a seat. He pulled 2 cigars, take one of the cigars, pulled out a Vippo lighter and lit my cigar before lighting his own. We clicked our glasses and took a sip. This is a really good one, very smoky, I like it. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. He pulled off he puffed on a cigar, filling the room with smoke. Definitely miles better than Valglandian whiskey. But lesbian whiskey more, it pairs better with their cigars. You see, Mr. Rayne, whiskers are a little bit like countries. Some are stronger, some are weaker, some are older and some are younger. Many are complex, but sometimes simple is best. I personally like stronger whiskers in general, that's why I like this one. It is definitely promising. Whatever you drink, in the end it boils down to your own taste. I assure you, Mr. Rayne, my taste is very refined. What type of whiskey do you like? I like stronger ones. Man after my own heart. Talk gets tired, listen to that a little bit. You know why I'm here? I want you to make an offer. I'm listening. Good. Listen closely. Times are changing, and so is the balance in the world. So instead of a fractured world, we will see a more united world. There is us 8 against them. I want you to be on our side, the winning side. I think there's much we can achieve together, and you have shown me the proof. A friend of Lesbia is a friend of ours as well. If you accept, we would like to extend you a warm welcome to NATO as a full member state. This, of course, comes with privileges and responsibilities. In NATO, we protect each other. We have a mutual defence clause in case of war. Join us, Mr. Rayne, and you will entire backing of NATO soldiers, jet fighters, warships, whatever you like. During peacetime, you will see the effects even more. Our combined production output will benefit both Sordland and NATO. We'll have free trade zone agreements, free views, access investments, you name it. All asking is return is mutual loyalty to one another in the pact. Soldiers and armed forces will be members of the NATO military structure. All branches, be it air, navy and army, will collaborate with the alliance network. We will provide assistance and training for free. Our armies will learn how to fight together and be stronger than ever in the face of Milanoviev's threat. Let's history together to know. What do you say? Let's just join. As I like to hear, we shook hands. Welcome to Mr. Miss. Welcome home. For newfound partnerships, we chinked our glasses down. Remaining whiskies. Now it's starting to taste better. Let's go upstairs, Mr. And we have much to discuss. More importantly, we need to celebrate. Besides, I have a few more dance moves to show off. Yeah, Mr. Potato ain't gonna like that, is he? Holden's 8 membership. Welcome. Yeah, they're not gonna like it. He's right there. Mr. Rayne. Yeah. Okay, the military aren't gonna like it at all, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna run well for me. But after weeks of late nights, market cards, Women's Rights Commission exceeded in getting their bill for the assembly. It wasn't as comprehensive as I hoped for, but it was a good start. I was looking forward to celebrating with my wife, but it had been out since I got home, she still wasn't there. After dozing on the couch after another frozen TV dinner, I heard the key to the lock. Mulligan stumbled into the hall. Honey, I'm home. Where were you? I said I'm going to drinks with Cara. I'm actually amazed any version of her bill passed, given how stacked the assembly was against her, but of course she wants to keep pushing for more. She hiccuped. She decided to get juiced. Well, yes, isn't that what men would do? I think you believe you're turning to politician, Mrs. Rayne. Get used to it, baby. I'm not going to stop until we get what we're asking for. True equality for women in Sordland. Seriously, Anton, this is what I wanted to do. I've never felt so alive. Don't worry, the best is yet to come. All we have to do is make sure you stay in office. Martin took my words to definitely upstairs to the bedroom. Nice. Okay. Right, so we've got. Let's have a look what's going over here now then. So we've got. So they're put more. Their navy's increasing their navy. What are they doing? Stand with Roger harassment with Sordland. Okay, they're going to drag into a little war. Sordland's largest middle parade ever. Cool, yep. Hang on, there's 2 of them, aren't there? Army groups declare war against the state. Armed groups, okay, yeah. Workers leader party poisoned. Okay. Deadly ambush in Jen. Yeah, I think this is attempt to assassinate Ijal. Poison the way to sound, delivered campaign speech, Stack is suspected from national organisations. I think this is Rumberg myself. Ship. Okay. It's down. Yeah, we shot down one big plane. We know that. Right. Let's look there. Let's look what this is about. Yeah, we shot them down. Organise a view with the presidency international renown. See, I'm going to say no to that. Spotted in full force at Hedgeland. Yeah, that's not going to end well. His job to lift economic burden alone can bracket. So as all forms of public transport inside Sordland, except for commercial planes. Use means public transport given to yeah, sign it. Government budget's gone again, but not to worry. Right. Report. Some for road stability. Look at the news. Public transport for Sordland. Hopefully I mean to get people to stop spending money. What's this about? Right, okay. I think we'll leave that there. I think we'll shave that for the next one, I think. Yeah, we are getting to the crux of it. We're either this is gonna go for me, I think it's gonna go three ways. There's gonna be a civil war with these armed groups, a war with Rumberg, or a bigger war with Vagsland and their allies and our allies, and it's going to be a big world war. I can't see it going any other way. You know, I think this is pointless myself because I don't think we're going to get to an election. But anyway, that's all for the next one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, thanks, bye.